Hopeless romantic janitor. Hopeless romantic janitor. Welcome all my brothers to the MLC, the Mr. Limber channel. Thank you for staying locked into this brotherhood. Today's knowledge that I'm going to drop is called the hopeless romantic janitor. Now, many of you have heard the term simp. You know, men who pretty much lay out the red carpet for women in hopes that the woman would sleep with them. Men who reduce their own value and give the value of the vagina unreasonable inflation type of status. He elevates the woman so high, he puts her on the pedestal, and he reduces himself. He does not think he deserves her, and he considers himself lucky to have her. Now, you guys already know I'm going somewhere with this that you haven't heard before. So let's get into it. The janitor is similar to the simp, but I want to use the term janitor because he is really what you would call the cleanup guy. He waits for women to make a mess, and then he comes along and he cleans it. This guy does not care what this woman has done. He is always available to clean up the mess. Now, during the weekend, I was scrolling online, looking at various stories, and I came across a story I believe came from south of Florida, where we have an old janitor. He's really an old simp, but I'm using the term janitor because it's going to get you to see the picture that I'm trying to paint. This old man is in his late 60s, I believe, going to his 70s. He can barely walk straight. He has worked 2 jobs for over 40 years each and barely had time to himself. But during those 40 years, he came across a mess that he kept cleaning up. That mess was a woman that made him the romantic janitor. She made him the hopeless romantic janitor. So here's the story. He's known her for 14 years. And she is the only woman he's ever been that crazy about. Her rent used to be short. She couldn't pay her rent at times. And what the romantic janitor did in his hopeless state was pay her rent for her during that time. The old hopeless romantic janitor noticed she bought herself a truck. She could not pay off that truck, so he paid off her truck for her. So keep track now, my brothers. He's paying off her rent and he's paying off her truck. Everything he should not be doing. Let it sink in. Now, while he's paying off her rent, paying off her truck, and paying her rent for her, she just told him, well, I'm getting married. Not to him. No. She's marrying another man. Now, for those of you Ibmore brothers, MGTOW Red Pill brothers, you already see what's going on here. You are used to these patterns of men treating women very well, and almost every single time, guaranteed, she is going to treat you poorly. So you're not shocked yet that this brother, this old man, this hopeless romantic janitor is paying off this woman's rent. She knows he's interested in her romantically. He's paying her car, her truck, and she marries another man. So, let's continue. She ends up divorcing that man she married. So, the hopeless romantic janitor, that old man, he went ahead and paid for her divorce. He is the kind of guy who likes to clean up the mess. You heard me right, by the way. He paid for her divorce. Now, mind you, gentlemen, you are talking to a woman romantically. She knows you are interested in her. She's not telling you she's not interested in you. You are paying her rent when she cannot make ends meet. She has a truck she cannot pay off. You're paying off her truck. And she marries another man and leaves you out in the rain all alone. Now, he keeps talking to her after he paid for her divorce. Alright? He keeps talking to her. The old simp, the hopeless romantic janitor. Some of you guys are young simps, middle-aged simps. Some of you guys are raising your sons to be simps. Take notes and undo these traits of cleaning up a woman's mess, regardless of how careless she was when she made them. He keeps talking to her, and while he's talking to her, she says her home got robbed and she lost a pair of earrings. She lost a pair of earrings. So, the old man, and this is from the news, by the way, this is a real story. The old man, he went out and bought her a pair of earrings, to replace the ones that were stolen. And he paid $4,000 for them. You heard me right, that is $4,000. He paid $4,000 for them. Because now a mess happened in her life. Someone broke into her home and created a mess in her life. Someone made a mess by taking her earrings. So the hopeless romantic janitor, he came along and he cleaned up that mess by spending $4,000 to replace those earrings. My brothers, I'm going to take a pause. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to the MLC so you may stay locked into the brotherhood. I want you to hit that bell icon so you get notifications. Like this video, share these videos, comment, and most importantly, learn. back to topic. The janitor symptom is really the most degrading facade a man can show. It is the most degrading way a man can live his life. You are elevating a woman and you are lowering your person. You are degrading yourself. And then you wonder just why she loses attraction, or why she's not attracted to you. You have to understand the science of women. And let this be a prelude to the subjects I will be getting into in the future, where I talk about the spiritual and the lower science, almost a vibrational frequency, a metaphysics of women and men in relationships, so you may just understand why women behave the way they do and why men should not be behaving the way they are behaving. A woman is expecting to be submitted. Even the most arrogant woman, even the most defiant woman is expecting to be submitted by you in every way, regardless of what she says. Even the women who likes to run things, their vagina runs dry when you are elevating them instead of submitting them. Now, I don't mean be disrespectful to her. I mean submit her. But how can you submit her when you put her on a pedestal and worship her as your goddess? Which is why some of you black brothers should not be listening to these Hotep brothers who are telling you the black woman is God. And by the way, this goes for every woman. This is just in the Hotep context. I'm bringing up black women. But anyway, let's recap. He was paying for her rent, my brothers. She couldn't pay off her truck. He paid off her truck for her. And she slaps him in the face by marrying another man. Then she got divorced. And he paid for her divorce. The cleanup guy. He's there for every single mess in her life. And then she said her house got robbed. So she found herself in another life mess, in another situation in life. So he went ahead and he replaced her stolen earrings. Now, I don't know how much the original earrings cost, but he spent $4,000. So, you want to know what she did? Yep, the janitor will always get the shit to clean up. Excuse my language, my brothers, but the janitor will always get more crap to clean up. That is why you don't want to be the hopeless romantic janitor. This is what she did. She married another man again. Woo! Oh my goodness. She married another man again. Her second marriage. And she still did not marry him. The guy who paid her rent, paid off her truck, paid for her divorce, and replaced her stolen earrings at $4,000. But the hopeless romantic janitor, the cleanup guy, the one who's there to fix all her mess, the one who don't care that she has 6 kids and he has none, he will always get more shit. He's always there to clean up shit. So while she's married to this second man and still left him out in the rain again, life happened to throw more crap at her. Misfortune came her way while she's married to the second man, and her son died. Now this is sad. I sympathize with that. She lost her son, and the man she is with, well, they're not saying anything. No one is saying anything for her. No one is helping her. No one is giving her a hand. So this man, who is now an old man, he was the hopeless, romantic janitor, the cleanup guy, the gentleman, the nice guy, the man who pulls out the chair so she may sit, the man who opens the door and go pick up the car in the rain, the nice guy, the cleanup man who takes care of her bastard children because she's fine. He went out and paid $8,000 for the funeral of her dead son. You heard me correctly, brothers. He paid $8,000 for her dead son funeral. Whew. Oh my goodness. Let's recap. I gotta recap because there's so many things. That's why I keep recapping. So forgive me. This man was paying for her rent. Then he paid off her truck. She married another man instead. She got divorced and he paid for her divorce. And then her earrings got stolen as her home was burglarized. And he paid $4,000 for her earrings. Then she repays him by marrying another man. Again. While with this man, her son died. And the hopeless romantic janitor paid $8,000 for her son's funeral. And then she got divorced again, the second time. And he paid for her divorce again, the second time. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop you guys a link in my low bar so you can go look at this article yourself. And I think there's a video on the page, and hopefully you can watch the video yourselves. I hope they didn't take that article down. So if you don't see the link, then I couldn't find it. But check my low bar. I most likely will have the link in it for you, because you might think I'm lying. But Mr. Limba is coming with you with real news. This is true. And sometimes this is you. You just don't realize how many times you took a girl out. You were a gentleman. You paid for dinner. You bought flowers. You opened the car door. She sat in it. And you drove her around. And you played the most romantic classical music. You were a gentleman. You kissed her hand. You said all the right things. And then she ordered an extra plate of food. Took it home. Gave that plate to a sorry man that didn't do anything for her, fed him, and then he ride her pussy till the next year. And you went home and jacked off with a bottle of lotion because you are the cleanup man. Yep, he paid for her second divorce. So he kept talking to her. Kept talking to her and helping her. And she got married again a third time to another man. A third time. Now, Some may say that this man was in love. That these are the crazy things you do for love. But you're on the MLC right now, the Mr. Limber channel. The channel that speaks only to men, and most importantly and specifically black men. I'm going to tell you the truth. This is not called the crazy things you do for love. This is called you are a moron. Don't do this. And if you have traits like this of fixing women's problems for them, I'm going to tell you stop. Don't do it. If she made a mistake, let her feel the burn. You understand? Don't. So needless to say, she got divorced again a third time. I'm going to make this quick because I can't keep going on and recapping. If you guys want to hear the recap, just go listen to this video again. I'm just going to tell you, she got divorced a third time. And I'm pretty sure you guys can guess what happened. He paid for her divorce the third time. Well, to wrap the story up, eventually he himself proposed to her. He couldn't wait for her to make up her mind anymore. He proposed to her. She said yes. And this would be a great Tyler Perry movie, because in Tyler Perry movies, he loved presenting to the black community cleanup men. He liked presenting to the black community the hopeless romantic janitor. Tyler Perry loved showing how suitable black men with high careers marry women that used to be prostitutes, whores, baby mamas with extreme attitudes. Now, I don't like calling people out, but if you guys are smart and really woke, that is an agent to destroy the black community. He knows what kind of information he's feeding out there. You gotta know. Pacifying our men to become stupid and to ultimately destroy the black family and destroy our children. So this old janitor, romantic janitor, proposed, and she said yes, and finally wanting to let him marry as the fourth husband. And they went out, and she picked out a ring, and it was a nice silver ring with diamonds around it and a big rock diamond in the middle. And it was for $6,000. $6,000. For a woman that has done so many shady and iffy things, to say the least, and keep this as polite and clean as possible. If you guys want to call it what it is, go ahead in the comment section and be as uncensored as you wish. I'm just trying to keep it neat as possible here in the video. So, after a few weeks, he called her. They talked, and then, she was still on board. In a couple months, he called her and said, hey, you ready to make this official and get married and, move in? She said, no. He said, what do you mean, no? She said, I changed my mind. So he said, what do you mean? She hung up the phone, and she got off and never picked up his calls and never answered his texts. So he asked her for his ring back over the text. She never replied, which is why he found one of those news station lawyers to actually try to get her to give him the ring back. And he managed to get his ring back, luckily, through the lawyer. But at the end of it, he still told her, I know you may not want to talk to me after what I did, as if he's the one that's wrong. But if you ever need anything, you know where to find me. That is truly a hopeless, romantic janitor. Whew. My brothers. Don't be the janitor. Don't be the janitor. Please. It gets you nowhere. She will eventually lose respect for you. She will leave you. Don't be the janitor. If a woman had a kids with kids or even one child with another man, you really shouldn't even be checking for her. If you have sex with her, whatever, but you really should not even be checking for her on a serious relationship. Because you're not there to come clean up her mess. I don't care if her kids are old and out of the house and they're going to college. Guess what happens when college books get expensive? When she tells you, I don't need you to do anything for my kids, I'm going to take care of that myself. But guess who can't pay her half of the rent? Because she had to take care of her college kids. Her. And guess who's going to pick up the slack on the rent? You. So guess who's indirectly paying for that college students, college books, and softwares, and study material? Guess who? You. You wouldn't pay for it directly, but as women are usually more intelligent than men when it comes to relationships, because they know how to look out for their advantage, and men just simply do not get the idea of looking out for your damn self first, and then she comes in the space you have left over after you're done taking care of yourself, which makes them smarter and wiser, because they know they can make mistakes, and you, the janitor, will come and clean up the mess. You'll come take care of her 10-year-old by another man. You will help her make ends meet. Ends that would have been met if she wasn't so reckless with her vagina and her ovaries when she was younger. Meanwhile, you were studying. You were becoming a doctor. You were getting zero pussy. But while you were getting zero pussy, and you were not sleeping at night because you were studying in school or working on your business, she was getting digged down. And she got pregnant. So now here comes you after she got left and she is broke. You take your hard work and you hand her all the benefits of it. You are a janitor. You were a janitor since middle school, since high school. She was the girl who dated the jock, the bad guy, the cool dudes, the assholes. And after he breaks her heart and she's crying, you came with a box of tissue. Are you okay, Sandra? You alright, Keisha? I'm here for you. Want me to get you anything? You want me to call someone for you? You want me to go get your friends? She probably says, just leave me alone, as she grabs some of the tissue. And you say, no, you need somebody right now. I'm not going to leave you. I'm going to stay here, okay? She nods her head and keep crying. And then she goes back to the bad boy and gives him some more of the good stuff. And you go home and you jack off to a bottle of lotions. Especially the old school guys, you barely had internet, porn was not that accessible, you just imagined something. Maybe you imagine her. Oh man, you were a janitor since back then, and you're still being a janitor as a grown man. Stop it! For real. This is my extended videos, guys, to make this longer because I got to talk to y'all. Stop being janitors. Yeah. You met her. She couldn't pay for her rent. You paid it for her. But when it's time for her to break up with you, she has no mercy, and she remembers nothing. Nothing that you ever did for her. She was out of a job. She broke up with her boyfriend. He puts her out. She left her parents' home. They put her out. And you brought her into yours. You got her food. But she wouldn't do anything you ask. And when you really got upset, she was more than ready to leave you in your own mess to clean up. Because, after all, she knows you, and you are a janitor. If you're not cleaning up her mess, well, you're cleaning up some other woman's mess. So she figures, hey, after he's done cleaning up my mess, since that's his job to be a janitor, I'm going to go ahead and make his life a mess. And then I'm going to leave him in his mess so he may clean that up too. I mean, brothers, you're doing this to yourself. Let women fix their own problems. Which part of that is so hard? What is it about that you do not understand? The same woman, you're kissing her butt in hopes that she loves you, sleeps with you, and cater to you, is the same woman who's doing all of that for a man who is not worth the title of human. And that man is not doing a darn thing for her. Why, oh why, do you insist on cleaning up her mess? Stop being the hopeless, romantic janitor. I want to go into deeper teachings in my channel, but I realize I gotta stay on things that are on the surface for now, because a lot of you guys are still behind, and I need you to catch up before I can teach you deeper things. Or maybe I just need to make another channel for deeper things, because you guys are still walking into danger when danger is screaming out, I am danger. These women will ruin your life. You come to a woman, you present yourself. She either gets on board with your greatness, or she steps on and keep going. Or step to the side and get the hell out of your way. Enough is enough. Stop being that hopeless romantic janitor. Women don't respect them. Women are not turned on by them. Women don't care for them. What women want is for you to be a man, to submit them, and you can show the proper respect. I'm not saying to lose yourself and become a disrespectful person as a man. You shall submit her in every way, including sexually. You will let her know you are the man, you are the leader, and you don't have to clean up her mess. If every woman seems to be a walking mess, I don't care if you have to leave the state, the city, the country, the continent, I don't care. You do not clean up her mess. You just don't. You guys have no standards. None. Your standards are too low. She's not a virgin. you don't care. She's been with 100 men, you'll still marry her. She doesn't cook, that's fine by you. She doesn't clean, that's fine by you. She's disrespectful, that's fine by you. She comes with children, that's fine by you. She is bad with managing money, that is fine by you. She is an emotional wreck, that is fine by you. She is not family orientated, that is fine by you. Come on, man. Come on. It may sound like a rant, but I'm trying to warn you brothers in every single one of my videos. Trying to warn you. I want you to be with a woman. I want you to respect women. Don't get me wrong. I want you to have a good, strong family. But what you brothers are doing is destroying your freaking lives. No standards whatsoever. I mean, women know they can have their cake and they can even eat it too. But the problem is you guys are baking it for them. Then you're paying them to purchase it. Then you're feeding it to them. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, if you guys were businessmen with the same mentality, you would be beyond the negatives. Deficit would not be the word to describe your business. Stop it. That's why you're on the MLC. That's why you're subscribed to the Mr. Limba channel. That's why you're part of this brotherhood, is to learn. I don't care how damn sweet this woman seems to be. I don't care how nice she is to you. Stop cleaning up her mess. Some of y'all even clean up her homegirl's mess. You clean up her mama's mess. Her car breaks down, you give her your car, your only car, and you catch the bus. Brother, what in this universe are you smoking? Man, let me just leave it right here. I'm going to leave it right here, man. Understand, these long talks, the reason I make these videos is because of you guys, man. I'm trying to help you guys out. We got to get better. We need to get smarter. We need to get wiser. The reason why women screw up all the time is because they know there is zero consequences for screwing up. Because you morons make every fairy tale that she has come true. You guys are a walking Tyler Perry script. Stop giving her the happily ever after when she does not deserve it. This is Mr. Limba. Stay locked into this brotherhood, man. Much love to all my brothers. Learn, stay strong. Comment, share your thoughts, man. I'm out. Peace.